would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1.
Just lay down.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
Well, there's a lot for you to digest as a Lobo fan, isn't there? Conference opener tonight. Lobo men at home in the pit. Playing San Jose State. Lobo football, you got the postseason, end of the season presser from your head coach that you hope continues to be your head coach. NFL going on. What's up with you boys and girls? Merry Wednesday. Welcome to the opening drive. Thank you for being with us. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. How you living? You all right?
All right.
What'd it do? Is that a question? What'd it do? JJ, between football and men's basketball, there's a whole lot of chatter going on. And it's not about a game, a score, a bowl, a tournament. It's about kind of the A section of the news, right? It's not my sports reporters telling me about it, but it's what's my news reporter telling me about. And Bronco Mendenhall, we'll hear from him what he had to say yesterday. Was asked initially about it, and he went on a long, windy. There's always rumors, and I'm not going to speculate because speculate gets you. Speculation doesn't get anywhere, so I won't speculate it. And then was asked directly, "Have you been contacted? Did you interview with Utah State?" Sean Ryder asked him, to be clear, and he says, "I have not been contacted, nor did I interview." Now, that doesn't mean his agents didn't. That doesn't mean he wouldn't. That doesn't mean there's no interest. That means he had not, as of yesterday, been contacted, he said, nor interviewed with Utah State.
Yes, that was a statement that was made.
It was an interesting, and again, what do you want a guy to say? Yep. I'm thinking about it. I'm interviewing. I'm talking to them, and if they offer, I'm out of here, boys. I mean, maybe that's what you want to hear. I don't know. So we'll get there. And I'm going to guess by now, if you are a Lobo basketball fan, you have seen Shane Dumas-Sanchez on your TV making the allegations. I was on Channel 13 last night, making the allegations against one of his teammates that basically those allegations, I mean, they amount to assault, right?
Yes.
He said that Shane Dumas-Sanchez, the former Del Norte star, the walk-on for the Lobo men's basketball team, has lawyered up with David Adams, and he spoke to Channel 13 and was on last night and told Channel 13 that basically, you know, there was an issue on the plane and at the hotel, and one of his teammates, and JJ, I guess, I mean, we're not naming him. Is that a legal thing? Everybody seems to know who it is, right? But we're not naming him because there's been no charges and no suspensions. And Richard Pitino basically said, yeah, can't talk about it, can't say anything.
It's all internal.
It's all internal. It's there's an investigation. I got nothing for you. Right? Exactly. Almost the verbatim, the exact thing I said he would say yesterday, which is
yes.
Yeah. Did you see the story on Channel 13?
It was the reaction from this over the last couple days. It's been really interesting. There's a lot of this kid is just looking for attention. Doesn't look like he got beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it in house. Soft. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that.
Yes,
and there's a lot of the other side too. Right? I mean, there's the other side. Like, whoa! If the kid got slugged, and if he got hit, and if he got assaulted, then there's a problem. No, there's 100% a lot on both sides. He claims in the story to Shane Dumas-Sanchez, the walk-on at UNM, that there was a dispute over a seat on the airplane, and it went to blows. He says that when they landed in Palm Springs, he was, and the story says, sucker punched in the face, fractured his nose, and then he was hit in his injured shoulder. He's in a sling. He had some shoulder surgery. There's no charges yet, right? Dumas-Sanchez says, I think they had the best interest of the team at the time, which was winning basketball games because that's what we're here to do, when asked about the coaches and what they did. There's a letter to UNM that the attorneys for Shane Dumas-Sanchez call it a very serious matter involving possible felony criminal charges, and said that, quote, complete dereliction of duty by UNM's basketball coaching staff. That was a quote there. End quote. And then you know, the attorney went on and played basketball coach and said what they should have done and whatever. I want to open up. You've seen it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to think. You saw it. What do you think when you saw Shane Dumas-Sanchez on your TV last night? To you, did he come off as credible? Because JJ, I've seen everything you've seen, right? That he's just looking for money, that the kid can't play, and this is soft, and he's just trying to get money. That these things happen. That you know, every team has guys who fight. This stuff happens. You don't go to the media. Wow. And by the same token,
the whole this stuff fight thing is fascinating, because yes, it's athletics. People go at it, but when you have an injured player that was allegedly assaulted off the court, I can't just buy into like these things happen.
When it comes like it wasn't in
like
practice. It wasn't
you're bumping heads. Oh,
yeah, and that's the
like
stuff that happens.
That's the stuff that happens.
Yeah.
But if it carries over like this, is it that like that's where I just don't buy into that fully. Now, in terms of should it end someone along those lines? Well, if there's charges filed, that changes absolutely everything, right? Because then you're dealing with a potential criminal case there. But in terms of
or
how should
case.
a head or how should a head coach handle this?
Yeah.
Like if there was an altercation, whether or not it was in something like, yeah, there's discipline. Does he have to tell the whole world about it? No. I think at some point you need, once it gets cleared through whatever matters it does in terms of internally and what the steps you have to take, because that's important. Because that gets messy if you don't follow steps at a university.
Well, at what point should a coach do something? Because, I mean, look, at some point you want to let it be handled
talk about
internally.
just accountability and character and all this stuff.
Right. So at what point do you, and I'm not sure I know the answer, because so Channel 13 said that they spoke with the alleged aggressor's attorney. I also have spoken with that attorney. And there's a different story, right? In Channel 13 story, it says his client denies all the allegations by Duma Sanchez, which is consistent with the conversation that I had with the attorney. Okay. And they're doing their investigation. But JJ, I guess, and I'm not sure I know the answer. At what point is it you guys handle it yourselves, deal with it, or, I got to step in? Is it I got to step in when, I mean, if in fact a dude went after another dude, went to his hotel room, fractured his nose, whatever, yeah, I guess at that point I probably need to step in. But if it's, getting off a plane and one guy takes a swipe at the other and the teammates break it up, is that, as a coach, do I need to step in? And I know there's going to be plenty of people say, hell yes, you can't have guys just swinging each other. And there's a lot to that, right? Hell yes, you can't have dudes just swinging each other. Or is it, whatever, man. I mean, that's what happens on teams, and let these, like Kenny Thomas said yesterday, they're men. They're young men, but they're men. At some point, figure it out. I don't need to jump in on every dispute, and I'm not certain I know the answer. And I would imagine, I would think it would be unique to each situation, right?
It's when is it occurring? How is it occurring? You do have assistant coaches for a reason, obviously after the fact. That's when the head coach gets involved. Yeah,
I don't know. I've heard, and again, a lot will come out. I've heard a lot of the other side of this, and we'll see, what comes out. The easy conclusion to jump to, only knowing one side of this story, is, wow, what a bully. How do you go after a dude who's in a sling? He's already injured. Wow, that's right. That's the easy conclusion that some people are coming to. And if you're a big, hardcore Lobo basketball fan, your easy conclusion is, man, that's soft. Shut up, Shane. What are you trying to do to this team? Handle it, internally. Why are you going to the media? Is this a money grab? Right?
Yes. I mean, things are sorting through in what's going to happen with the speculation. Even if you want it to play out, you're going to have a feeling one way or the other. And that's what we've seen play out over the last couple of days since this story has come out.
Yeah. I'm going to imagine that the truth is going to lie somewhere in the middle. That there's going to be stuff that, I've heard. Is it over a girl? Is it over, I've heard a lot on the other side, and until it comes out officially, I'm not going to get in. As Bronco Mendenhall said, speculation is dangerous, right? I'm just be careful until you hear both sides. That's all. And I'm not telling you that one guy's right, one guy's not right. You've heard one side of the story, but when you saw Shane on your TV last night, and I know most of you did, what'd you think? How did that look to you? What's your thoughts? Because I'm going to guess at some point the other side's going to have to come public, right? I mean, look, now nobody's been accused by name, although there's been accusations internally. Everybody knows who it is. Internally, certainly. What do we always talk about? If I'm accused of something and I didn't do it, I'm yelling from the rooftops, I didn't freaking do it, right? Now, his name's not being dragged around yet, but at some point, I promise you it's coming out, right?
Yeah, and
we all know who it is.
And there's one, too, it's interesting, too, seeing, like, the people that were in Palm Springs and really around the program, like, there was never, like, an inkling of something that was going on.
Yeah, then there's that. All right, I want to hear from you, 505-246-06. And just really, really curious. I got some emails coming in already, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You saw it. You got a Lobo game tonight. You got basketball tonight. You got a conference game tonight. And you got this swirling around. What'd you think? I listened to the top of Lobo Talk yesterday. Rob didn't ask Richard. When we come back, JJ, we'll play Richard Pitino's comment on that. Is that fair? what Richard Pitino had to say, and we'll get back into the 20-game schedule and all the hoop. But I just want your thoughts. We got 12 days of jerseys to give away from All In Autographs, right? So we got 2 today to give away, 2 mystery boxes.
Mystery boxes.
All right, so we'll do that today. We're going to do that coming up at 7:45. You good with that? When do we hit that break? 7:43? So it's 7:43 and at 9:10 today. Cool? We'll give away those mystery boxes. So stay with us. That's from our good friends over at All In Autographs. You can watch the show. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, and on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. JJ's on the X. It's _JJ Buck. And, of course, our phone number, 505-246-0610. When we come back, what Richard Pitino had to say in his opening statement yesterday in regards to this controversy swirling around Level basketball. And I want your thoughts on what you saw and how that came off to you when you saw it on TV. Hey, you're shopping for gifts, whether it's holiday gifts, engagements, anniversary. John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in town, period. There's no argument about this. This isn't your regular jewelry store. First of all, you got to want to get there. They're not in the mall. They're across the street from the mall, in fact. 1 block south of Manal in Louisiana. 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. That's just to the east, across the street from the mall over there on Louisiana near Manal. They have been named America's coolest jewelry store by In-Store Magazine. All right, it's cool to be good, and it's cool to be cool, but how good are they? Well, they're 5-star Google-rated, full-service jewelry store, the only one in town, the only 5-star rated one. Fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years, and voted best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years. The place is amazing. When you walk in, you're going to realize, wow, this is different. They got over 3,000 men's and ladies' bridal rings right there on hand to try. And if you don't like any of the 3,000 or can't figure it, they'll make it for you. And they'll sit there and make you a figure of it. You can try it on, you can play with it, and then they will custom make that ring right there in their on-site custom state-of-the-art design center. So whether you're looking for an engagement ring, an anniversary gift, a wow Christmas present, you've got to stop by John Thomas Jewelers. Go by and see them at 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. They're on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, and it's all online at johnthomasjewelers.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.org. That's nmfasfa.org.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm in
first game of conference play. It's going to be a game, and then they'll take some time, and then you get the Aggies on Saturday, right? And then get back into non-conference play. Opening drive, I've asked you the question. You saw Shane Dumas-Sanchez on your TV last night. I know most Lobo fans have already seen that. What did you think? And now that you've seen him, in his words, make the accusations against a teammate, and with all the noise swirling around Lobo basketball, just your thoughts. What do you think? What did that look like to you when you saw it last night? Richard Pitino held a press conference yesterday. This was a pre-scheduled press conference to talk about basketball. But, of course, he was asked off the top about what's going on. And I mean, I think I almost nailed it verbatim, but here it is in his words, what he had to say.
To kind of address the current situation, your university has issued a statement. We will follow those protocols. There's not a whole lot I can talk about. We are handling any discipline matters internally, but other than that, there's not a whole lot I can say specifically. So excited about conference opener, obviously unique, playing 20 games, starting earlier. So, a big opportunity, be home. These home conference games are huge. So we got to take advantage of it. Got a little rest coming back from Palm Springs. Obviously 2 late games, was long. But fortunate to get one, happy to say we beat 2 Big Ten teams and, excited to start off conference play.
And there you go. Nothing to see here. We handle it internally, and we got hoops today.
Very seamless transition.
Yeah, he's good at that, man. Look, he's very good. And I've told you, I've always liked the way he's handled the media, worked with the media. He's smooth. I like his demeanor. And, we had that Aggie fan call yesterday and said, I can't believe people aren't talking about this. And if this was the Aggies, it'd be and they're gonna hide behind privacy laws. I'm like, oh, stop. I mean, New Mexico State never said a word about any of it, right? I mean, they always hid behind the privacy law, or hid behind it. They cited the privacy laws and still have it. And if in fact this is about one player slugging another player, if that's what it is, I'm not here to, rate offenses, but shutting your program down after what went down there and or an issue where somebody got shot and killed feels a little bit different than this. No? Every team,
yes.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Nobody's sweeping it. It's not, if it was New Mexico State. No. In fact, UNM gets way more scrutiny than New Mexico State. And I think everybody knows that. And for whatever the reasons are. All right, you're in on this stuff. Let me get you what I got. This is from Bill on Lobo Basketball. It says, drama, drama, drama. Lobo Basketball, it finally happened again. Welcome, Mr. Lovo, to UNM Athletics. Like Gary Colson said, it's like having teenagers running around with my paycheck. All right. Oh, was the press conferences today, huh? Mike said the the KOB little reporterette said Lobo Athletics would announce their new AD today, Jeff Alou. Oy vey, it says. Yeah, they've already announced that they will introduce him. It's today at 10, right? Right, well, so we can't go to that? All right, yeah, Fernando Lobo introduced today. Les says, why isn't Shane Dumas-Sanchez suing Kurt Roth? Jeff, he's going after the local university, i.e. the state of New Mexico taxpayers. But the player in question is only here because of Kurt Roth's NIL money. It's from Les. Damn him. Kurt Roth should pay for this, according to Les, if anybody's going to pay for it. This is, let's see. Rod says, Lobo football, he's on Lobo football, 1994 equals Lobo football 2024. Jefferson, guys like Rudy C. like to talk about beating number 9 Utah in University Stadium, but they never mention the shine was taken off the next week when both clubs fell, Utah at Air Force and Lobo football 72-20 when Ryan Christopherson went nuts. Sound like Wazoo's meltdown and Micah Alejandro's historic performance against Lobo football? Okay, parallel. All right, the other story was yesterday, JJ, and we can run Bronco on this, I guess, as well. Bronco Mendenhall had his postseason wrap-up, and he was asked about the Utah State rumors, the story in the Deseret News out of Utah that Bronco had it interviewed and is the person of focus. Is that what's the right word I'm looking for? The main focus, the center of their focus for the Utah State job, is what he said.
And to be clear, I mean, you have been approached by Utah State?
I have only been speculated to have been contacted by. So
you have not been approached or interviewed?
I have not been approached or interviewed.
That was Sean Ryder from the Journal. And that was literally at the end of the press conference. There was like 32 minutes of press conference. And early on, Van Tate did ask the question, you know, there's speculation and there's a story out there. And Bronco went into, saying that there's been interest every year that I've been a head coach. He said, I think all it does is really confuse people when you speculate, so I don't intend to. But it's normal this time of year for players and coaches. I think for most football families, the month of December is their least favorite. You'd love to say the staff will remain the same. You'd love to say your roster will remain the same. What in college football ever remains the same? And so we adapt, we adjust, we move forward best you can. My wife and I, we've chosen to do that, and we'll continue to choose to do that, but I won't speculate. I think we all sat there and went, what? So you have or you haven't been interested? You are or you're not interested? You have or you like good answer. And everybody kind of ate it and moved on with football for a minute until the very end of the press conference when Sean asked that question, which needed to be asked, right?
Yes. So that's, like I said, it's a rumor out there. I think the way Bronco handled it was fine in that aspect. Don't need to speculate it. And then at the end, he said he had not interviewed.
Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean his agent hasn't been contacted. That doesn't mean they won't be. That doesn't mean there's, he wouldn't be interested. He answered the question that he was asked. All right. You can get in on any of that, and we'll keep that open for you. The 5 days of jerseys, or 5 days? It'll be 12 days of jerseys, and we were supposed to start yesterday, so we'll do 2 today. We'll give one of them away at 7:43, a mystery jersey from All in Autographs. When we come back, the college football playoff is out. The poll is out. The rankings are out. And, JJ, there's some controversy. I'd love your thoughts. I don't know how you feel about the last team in. Always the last team in is a controversy, right? Whether it's 68 and 69, whether it's 12 and 13, whatever it is, and we got controversy. We're going to talk about it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Brought to you by New Balance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
To final, the penultimate, is that right? Is the right use of that? Some significant movement. Not at the top, although a little bit at the top. Oregon 1, Texas 2, Penn State up to 3, Notre Dame up to 4, Georgia 5, Ohio State only drops to 6. I was surprised Ohio State only dropped to 6. Above Tennessee, above 1 loss SMU, above 1 loss Indiana, above 1 loss Boise State. And then it comes down to 11 and 12 because 11 is the cutoff. Well, Jeff, there's 12 teams. Yes, there are. But Arizona State is the highest ranked Big 12 team. And ACC team. No, they're not. Big 12 team. Big 12 team. Iowa State. Or who's Iowa State playing in the Big 12 championship for crying out? All right.
Arizona State.
Thank you. Iowa State and Arizona State 15 and 16. One of them is getting in as the 5th highest ranked conference champion, which means number 12, Miami, right now is on the outside looking in. Miami's 10 and 2. They're below 9 and 3 Alabama. Miami has lost 2 of their last 3 games. They lost 42-38 at Syracuse, who's ranked 22 in the poll. They lost to a Georgia Tech team who, whilst not ranked, is pretty damn good and just took number 5 Georgia to 8 overtimes. So those are their 2 losses. Do they have a great win? Probably not. Miami has 3 losses. JJ, 2 of those losses are to a 6-6 Oklahoma and a 6-6 Vanderbilt. You can make a conversation. You can make an argument either way. Do you go by good wins or do you go by your losses? I've got an 8-2 Miami, who was undefeated until just a couple of weeks ago. They will not play in their conference championship game. Their best win, I don't know, man. What's their best win? Louisville? They didn't have to play Clemson. They didn't have to play SMU in league play. They're in the ACC. By the way, the ACC is the team that the conference got left out last year. Remember, Florida State undefeated got left out. Alabama, on the other hand, has 3 losses. They got good wins, right? What's that? I mean, and they're Alabama, but they went out and they beat Georgia, who is number 5, 41-34. They beat South Carolina. South Carolina is number 14. They beat Missouri, who's been ranked. But they lost, JJ, to Vanderbilt and Tennessee. Tennessee's not a bad loss. Tennessee's number 7, and then Oklahoma. I'm not surprised Alabama's going to get in. I guess how they don't get in is if Clemson beats SMU and SMU doesn't drop out. And then the ACC gets 2 teams, right?
So the committee, what they've done is with these last rankings before the conference championship games is they positioned Alabama in if things break their way, and kind of sets the tone for potentially, the ACC, as you said, maybe getting 2 teams in actually, and how that shifted.
Would they get 2? I mean, do you believe the way they dropped it? Because I look at this, and they only dropped Ohio State, losing to a marginal Michigan team at home. They only dropped them from 2 to 6.
It's been pretty set that those in terms of the rankings, not the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 or 6 teams that they've loved regardless this year.
Alabama, one of them. Yeah. Boise State's up to 10 in the ranking. See, look at that, JJ. Top 10. You thought they'd never get higher than 12. Are you good with Miami being ranked behind Alabama? I'm not certain I am, but I'm not certain I'm not. Because I
think the one thing for Miami is they don't have
that
marquee win.
Yeah.
They don't. And for Alabama, beating Georgia makes up for losing.
And Tennessee. Well, no, they lost to Tennessee. Yeah. So, all right. So beating Georgia erases the Oklahoma loss? Beating South Carolina erased the Vanderbilt loss? I mean, their wins are certainly better than anything Miami has. Non-conference, they played Western Kentucky, South Florida, and Wisconsin and Mercer. Excuse me. Right? You look at what Miami did, and again, this is where these leagues, they want to be so damn big. Well, they're facing it now. You got these unbalanced schedules. Non-conference, you figure the Florida game's going to be good. Florida got a lot better towards the end of the season. When Miami whooped them 41-17 to open the season, they weren't very good. But Florida got better. Florida beat Ole Miss at the end of the season. Florida won games at the end of the season. Florida's better. They scheduled Florida State. Well, they didn't schedule them. That's a league game. So Florida A&M, Ball State, that's who they played non-conference. Are they getting penalized for almost losing to Cal and Louisville? The Virginia Tech game that had to get reversed? They don't have a good win. And I think that's what the committee's saying is, you know what? It's not their fault necessarily they didn't play Clemson or SMU, but they didn't. And Alabama's wins, beating Georgia, beating South Carolina, are better than anything Miami's got. The losses, whilst to 2 6-6 teams, Georgia Tech 7-5. Yeah, they're good. They almost beat Georgia, but I mean, whatever. And to me, this is splitting hairs. I probably would have gone Miami. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have gone Miami, but I knew the committee would go with Alabama. Where would you, like, if you were in the room, which way would you have been swung?
I might be leaning to Alabama because at that point, even with 3 losses versus 2, it's what can push you over the top, and the Georgia game does that for me when it comes to Alabama.
Yeah,
and they are. Look. This is kind of old school NCAA basketball seeding, as they are talking a lot about what you're doing the last few weeks
and
how you're playing going into.
Or Alabama lost Miami lost
these final rankings.
Well, I look at Alabama. I mean, they beat Mercer and an Auburn team who's not very good, and they lost to Oklahoma. I mean, who's playing better the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's. That Oklahoma game was shocking for Alabama.
And they got run by Oklahoma 24-3.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
So good for you.
This one is humans, man.
Yeah.
It's Alabama. They have to be right there.
Yeah, I'd have gone the other way. I do think I'd have gone the other way. I'm curious where y'all are on that. Like, Miami, the ACC is pissed. So now the ACC has to hope that Clemson beats SMU and SMU doesn't slide below. I mean, at 11-2, SMU's got to be above Alabama, don't they? Or do they?
They don't have to at all.
Does SMU get knocked out by losing a champ game? Do you get punished? Because they say you're not going to get punished for losing a championship game, right? For playing that extra game. So do you get punished? I can't believe that they would.
It depends on who you are.
They're okay. They're ranked number 8. Who have they beat?
And they perfectly positioned Alabama to be in and spin it. Hey, yeah, they SEC beat Georgia. Sorry, SMU, but you didn't win.
What's SMU's best win? I mean, they lost to BYU. I guess Pitt, Louisville, Florida State's not that good. TCU, Duke, Pitt, Boston College, Virginia, Cal. I mean, they're in danger, I think, SMU is. And I think therein would lie a real argument. If they got knocked out because they lose a conference championship game because they played the extra game, and Alabama doesn't, so you sit home, you didn't earn your way into your conference championship game, so you get to sit home on that weekend, and somebody else plays and they get knocked out. And
that would be, even in the 12-team playoff era, that would be a rough way to start things off.
I think that would be wrong. All right, let's give away a mystery box. Caller number 4 right now, 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. Caller number 4, you will win a mystery jersey box from All In Autographs. Go by and see them over in the Hoffentown Shopping Center. All In Autographs has supplied us with these. We'll do the 12 jerseys of Christmas. It's the opening drive. Caller 4 right now. 505-246-0610.
This reporter.
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I think we got a win. You get a winner? You got a winner, right?
Winner number 1 in the books.
All right, we'll do it again. We'll 9-10 today. 9-10, we'll give away another one. Dude, I got to make a tough decision, fantasy football. I just did it, dude.
Week 14 bye right before the fantasy football playoffs. You're trying to get in. It is throwing some knuckleballs at you.
I'm not sure what just happened here to my team. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails this morning, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Really curious what you think about, there's a lot of things out there. You saw Shane Dumas Sanchez on your TV last night. What do you think of that? And then college football playoff. It's crazy, right? I mean, you're Miami, you're pissed. You see the ACC is just livid.
Yeah, and
Jim Phillips
you have the ranking show, and then everyone goes on their PR tour, from conference commissioners to coaches. It's part of playing the game, the mental aspect of it, because there's still human bias involved when you have a selection committee, even when you're going to 12 teams, and that's what you get immediately after the show is everyone going online, going on the interview circuit, stating their case.
Yeah, people are pissed. Jim Phillips is incredibly shocked. That's the commissioner of the ACC. They got shafted. And I felt last year they did too. Look, whatever you want to say about Florida State getting run out of the Sugar or the Orange Bowl, I thought they did get shafted. I thought Florida State undefeated should have been in last year. All right, so you expanded to 12, and I told you it doesn't matter. If it's 4, if it's 12, if it's 16, if it's 68, you're having a huge conversation at the bottom of who gets in.
Yeah, that's the way it's always going to be in tournaments where you can invite teams into it. It's still a learning process, because I was listening to a show and they were screaming about automatic bids and they got to eliminate automatic bids or something. Like, there's no automatic bids, y'all. There's just, you have to win a conference championship to get a bye, but there's no automatic bids. And they're screaming that it's broken and this is a problem.
Who's screaming?
It was the ESPN national show. And they're like, there's automatic bids and they need to get out of this. And they're pretty much saying, this needs to be just 6 Big Ten teams and 6 SEC teams, because that's the top 12.
Because that's all the people know. I get.
And I'm like, that's.
And you may get there.
It's hard to understand some of this still for people. I understand that. But they were screaming like it was the NCAA tournament where you're getting automatic bids. And like, you're not. You're just getting a chance to get a bye.
They want it to be not inclusive. That the Boise States of the world and in this case the Arizona States and or Iowa States of the world don't have a spot because they're not in the top 12. Here's where you are right now in the bracket based on the rankings. And again, things will change because either Oregon or Penn State will lose. I don't know how much one of them will drop. Georgia plays in the SEC championship game against, who are they playing? Is it Tennessee? No, they're not playing Tennessee. Who are they playing? Who's Georgia playing?
Texas.
Oh, yeah, duh. So you got number 2 and number 5 playing for a bye. You got number 1 and number 4 or number 3 playing for a bye. You got number 8 playing. Who's SMU playing?
You want to speak on who these teams really are? I think Texas is lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, they've won. They haven't beaten anybody.
Was their best win at Michigan?
That's not a good win.
No, I understand.
It's A&M at the end of the season.
That's their best win. All right,
but to be just planted as a top 3 team all season long. Okay.
They no, come on. No, Texas beat Georgia, or they lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
So their best win is A&M. They didn't have to play Alabama. They didn't have to play Ole Miss. Look, if you want to have these conversations, because we sit around and speculate, and I listened coming to this morning guy on our radio station complaining that the ACC's, Vanderbilt would have rolled the ACC. That Vanderbilt, come on, Vanderbilt's better than anybody. That SMU was 7-5, won the New Mexico Bowl 2 years ago in Rhett Lashley's first year. They were 5-3 in the AAC, and now they're playing for a spot. And he's like, that shows you how weak they are. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But he knows nothing outside the SEC and the Big Ten.
I thought to that point.
You heard that too?
Yeah. Who's Texas Tech's head football coach? He actually had a great statement on it yesterday. I forget his name.
It's Johnny or God dang it. I know.
But he was saying like this is a system that you're never going to outrun the patches on the jersey, because he said he pointed out Texas is a Big 12 football team. They are, and what did they do this season?
They're
playing in the SEC championship. Oregon is a Pac-12 football team.
Joey McGuire.
What are they doing?
Well,
they're the number in the Big Ten, and he's saying like these aren't. They didn't just magically overnight
100%
have an SEC roster.
Look, your conference champions could be Oregon, who first year in their league they came from the Pac-10 or Pac-12 to the Big Ten. SMU could win the ACC. Their first year in from the American, right? Texas could win the SEC first year in from the Big 12.
And you just say like this.
Arizona State
bias is real.
Arizona State could win the Big 12 first year in from the Pac. Yeah, it's all real. Your Power 4 champions can be all first year teams in their league. No, he's not wrong on that. And then you get people who have no idea and can sit there and tell you that the Big 12's garbage because whatever. I mean, if you want to tell me top to bottom, one league's better than the other. But look, you guys got so big. You want to go to 16 and 18 teams. And I've had this conversation a number of times this week with people at the conference level regarding bowl games. You got 18 teams, 16 teams. You can't play anybody. And so now you're going through schedules and your champion missed the other best teams in the league. Or somebody got knocked out because they had to play the 3 best. It's unbalanced. It's not fair. I don't even know that it's intended to be fair. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Sound.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight
from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Lots going on in a little wide world of sports, isn't it? Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to the opening drive. Thanks for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Alongside JJ Buck, I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 505-246-0610. Conference opener for Lobo men's basketball tonight out at the Pit, Lobos and San Jose State. You can listen to it over on News Radio, KKOB. Last night, interesting stuff in college basketball. There were league games. How about Michigan beating 11th-ranked Wisconsin on the road last night to open up Big Ten play, huh? Go Blue. Clemson beats Kentucky, whilst not a league game. A big game. Number 4 goes down yesterday, 70-66.
That was the only win for the ACC in 10 matchups yesterday between the ACC and SEC.
Isn't that crazy?
The SEC.
And who?
Yes, I. It's frustrating, but they are just taking over everything.
No.
Like the investment, what they've done, they are the best basketball league in the country now.
That's where the money is, man. The SEC's got money. And it's a lot of football money that they've been able to invest. And it's been good for them. I mean, good wins. Tennessee pounded Syracuse. Oklahoma beat Georgia Tech. A&M beat Wake Forest. Ole Miss over Louisville. Arkansas 76-73 over Miami. Georgia pounded Notre Dame. I mean, it's just what it is. Missouri beat Cal. I mean, just they're really, really good. Big Ten yesterday opened up league play. UCLA got a win at home over Washington, 69-58. Iowa wins over Northwestern, and again, Michigan goes to Wisconsin and gets a win. Tonight, you get a full slate of Mountain West stuff that might interest you a little bit. Wyoming at Utah State, that is a league game. San Jose State is in the Pit, league game. San Diego State at Fresno State, league game. Non-league, Loyola Marymount will be at Colorado State. So you got interesting stuff tonight. 505-246-0610. The matchup tonight, JJ, does interest me a bit. And I'm interested to see, how... by the way, tonight's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Aggies are home tonight. Abilene Christian will be in the Pan Am Center as New Mexico State looks to get back on track after losing 4 in a row. They've lost. I mean, Dayton obviously is really good. They beat UConn. They lost at UNLV, and then they lost to Pepperdine and Bowling Green to the Aggies. Last one by a point. The Bowling Green. So they get back at it. They get Abilene Christian today, and then they'll be in the Pit before playing Texas. Aggies got a schedule, dude.
Yes, they do.
Aggies play a schedule. What do you expect tonight? I mean, is this one of those where it's tight early and the Lobos kind of pull away mid-second half and win by 12?
I have that feeling about this game. I think New Mexico, the last few games, starting to see some steps forward. Braden Applehans, the pressure taking off a little bit. Bro Vichanin, he can come on and make some plays. CJ Noland, if he's good to go, that's going to be huge. Sprained his thumb in Palm Springs. Because, this is a tight rotation, that starting five, and then Applehahn's coming in and mix and match, a few minutes with Atiki, but I like the Lobos at home, 17.5.
Is that what you're seeing? I see 19 and a half.
Yeah, it's gone up.
Yeah.
Big number, but I think the Lobos should control this game. As you said, yeah, it's going to be a little tight early. It's even being December 4th, it's a conference game where we see it so many times over the last few years. You think a team is going to just absolutely roll, and they don't. But I like where Lobos are coming off the 2 games against Arizona State and USC, and kind of how they're coming together, kind of realizing what they need to do to be successful this season.
Yeah. 19.5 points is the spread. Lobos over San Jose State tonight out at the Pit. I think, I don't know how much the outside noise infiltrates the the locker room and gets in. Obviously, there was an issue between 2 players, at least 2 players. I don't know. And Shane Dumas-Sanchez went on TV last night. Is he still with the team? Like, is he going up? He wasn't practicing.
He's probably not.
I'm going to guess
with
not,
the team.
right? If he's lawyered
But
up
they didn't
and
kick him off the team, because you can't do that.
why can't you? Why can't you kick a guy off a team?
Well, you can't at this moment in time.
Why? I'm just curious.
So the player that is accusing one of his teammates of assaulting him, and then you kick that player off the team?
I guess not. Yeah. I mean, for what? Unless there's
like when
more to
there, who knows what's going to happen in terms of like suspensions. This doesn't sound like it, but it's a process that the university leans into. All these universities do. You have to follow the process, because if you don't, that will get you in more trouble as a program.
That's right.
But no, I don't. I would think he's probably not with the team at this moment in time, especially with what's gone on. But you asked the question about.
I mean, if dude just shows up today and say, "Hey guys, what's up?" Like,
I'm sure there's been a discussion. Like, with
might
coaches,
be best that you stay away.
Yes, Richard Pitino.
Yeah.
You're going on the news.
Why don't you keep your hobbled ass away?
Of this.
Yeah.
I would not expect to see him on the bench.
I would not expect that either
tonight. But the news of kicking this player off the team, that would not be
fair enough.
Good for Lobo basketball. And I know there's plenty of people screaming, absolutely do that. Get this guy away from the team, but that's not the way to handle it at this moment in time for the Lobos. He's probably away from the team. But this happened on the way to Palm Springs. This did not look like a basketball team that was distracted playing USC and Arizona State.
Yeah, but I think at that point they probably figured it was an internal matter, right?
Why would it change who they are on the basketball court tonight? Because of
the external noise. Because they're sitting in class and people are going, "Dude, what happened? Who's the player? Who's the player?" I mean,
they're not sitting in class dealing with.
You don't think that? I spoke to a class 2 weeks ago, and there were two.
Yeah, but I don't think
they actually do go to class.
I understand, but I don't think they're getting that in class.
You don't think anybody's talking about it? Hey, okay, all right. I think you're probably mostly right. I don't think this place is a big distraction. I don't. I just and I think that Shane probably is not in the locker room and is not in the team meetings and is not with the team. And I'm going to guess probably not welcome and maybe seemingly not very popular amongst the team, right? Whether he's been told to leave, I'm going to guess after going on the news last night.
Yeah,
he's probably not.
With him going public,
he's probably not going to be all that comfortable walking into the locker room.
And it's. I think there's probably people that ask him about it, but I don't know if the vibe on campus amongst the students is anywhere near the social media fan base.
Yeah, that's probably right
about this.
All right, 505-246-0610. Hey, Alan. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Alan. Hello, Alan.
Yeah, hi. Got a quick comment about bullying.
Yeah.
I think the player, the victim player, probably went on TV, I'm guessing, because the school, the team, from what I've heard, didn't do much when he first reported it. And I think the school would be in even worse trouble, possible trouble if they make him a victim a second time by asking him not to play or kicking him off the team. I think the aggressor is the one who needs to be suspended, if any of them. So I'm on the side of the victim and not the aggressor. So that's my take. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you. The alleged victim and the alleged aggressor. Yeah, and I understand that. Still, I'm going to guess it's going to be awkward for him to walk in, and it's not like the dude played. I mean, he was the end of the bench walk-on who's in a sling after shoulder surgery. He wasn't playing. He wasn't even dressing. So,
and that's part of it too, seeing how they played, because if something went down, they all knew about it.
Obviously,
in playing Arizona State and USC didn't affect them. Even if there's noise, I go, how many stories do you see of just news walking to campus and asking students about something with athletics, and they're like, have no idea, but they're on the news and they give them some.
Well, that's all you get. Yeah. No. Some reporters doing a story on basketball.
That's why I don't
go to the bookstore and find some.
They're getting overwhelmed with it on campus. It's the social media and fan base, but a lot of the noise is actually, against Duma Sanchez right now. So
yeah, I just got a text. Do you think this is going to put Pitino in trouble? And does this hurt the program? I mean, it doesn't. None of this helps your program. I got to tell you something. Well, and let's watch it play out. One dude slugging another dude on a trip doesn't feel horribly uncommon to me.
Of things that could happen, you'd put that on the list of, we'll deal with that.
Yeah. Now, I want you to be very clear. I'm not telling you I think it's okay. I'm not telling you I think, hey, yeah, just go around and start punching dudes. That's not what I'm telling you at all. I'm telling you when I hear stuff on teams and stuff that happens, and you do too, and this is kind of on the low end of the scale of issues. Now, is the cover-up always worse than the issue? It tends to be, and I don't know that they're covering anything up here. And this is where you and I think have both been very careful over the last 2 days. There is another side of the story. That story I'm hearing whispers about, and will come out today, tomorrow, whenever it comes out, and then let's see what the truth is. You've heard one side of this story. Shane went on TV last night and told you his side. And if you're just joining us, I'm really curious what you think. 505-246-0610. When you saw Shane Duma Sanchez on TV last night, how did he come across to you? What did you think of now? What do you think of the story? Do you think, oh my goodness, wow, okay, yeah, well, this is horrible. Somebody's got to pay, or did you think, wow, what's he doing? Like, what did you think? And there is another side, and the accused player's lawyer said there's another side, and I've been in contact with that person as well, and I think that'll come out too when they're ready for that to come out. So, just how did he come across to you? I'm curious. 505-246-0610. Hey, winter weather's coming, and there's no better way to combat the snow and the dirt than with service from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. I cannot recommend my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing enough. They are great. They come out to you. They've done this for my car many, many times. Wherever and whenever it works for you. At the office, at your home, and they detail your vehicle at your place. They've got the mobile unit. Detailing is what the car dealers do. Your car looks and feels and smells brand new when they're done. They've got ceramic coating, paint protection film. It helps prevent scratches and damage from road debris. Plus, just say goodbye to the snow, dirt, and water stains. They've won best in the city because they are best in the city. Keep your vehicle looking like new this winter. Book today, and it is a great gift. You're all looking for that perfect gift. This does it. Book and buy. Go to otsdetailing.com. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing at otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance.
To you, what's your impression of what's going on knowing one side of the story? I got a text from Steve that says, morning, what makes punching someone in the face and injured shoulder okay? Short of punching first, is there anything that makes punching someone alone okay, i.e. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole? Let's say a name was called that caused the punches. Does name calling make it okay? Sounds like the case here. As bad as a word may be, doesn't give the kid the right to swing. No, I don't think punching, I'm not telling you it's okay. And I'm telling you on the list of things that I've heard from, coming out of programs, I think this is, I don't want to say common, but not uncommon, right? And I don't know that I think it's drastic. But no, I'm not telling you it's okay to go and slug your teammate.
It's not okay, but there's obviously certain words that could be said that could trigger that type of reaction. But then you're in a speculation game. You're in this assuming game, and we just don't know.
Larry says, I'm an ex-high school and college athlete. I've been a part of many teams, and things happen between teammates. I'm going to wait until all sides come to light before paying this story any attention. In my experience, there's always 3 sides to every story. One side, the other side, and the truth. I believe in Coach Pitino and trust they are handling it appropriately. Jeff, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Those two texts were a perfect lead into what I'm going to say.
I knew that.
So Shane, everybody's, he's winning the court of public opinion because he can get out there first. So he's got people saying punching someone, assuming that he was punched for no reason. And very rarely, we see it a lot in social media gotcha moments, but think about life in general. Very rarely would there be a case where you're sitting in a seat anywhere and someone just comes up to you and says move, and maybe you say no, and they just haul off and punch you. Would we agree on that?
It's rare. Yeah, I wouldn't tell you it never
rare.
happens, but yeah, it's rare.
Very rare. Yeah. And then, so I think by Shane getting out there, knowing his lawyer, knowing that UNM can't comment on this, especially the side that's being accused, they're not going to be able to really formally refute anything that he's saying. So this court of public opinion has people like a caller a few minutes ago saying, I'm on the side of the victim, which is technically an alleged victim. He's not proven to be. Maybe he pushed the guy, maybe he swung on the guy first. We don't know. But then the second one is absolutely true. The second communication, which is you have his side, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And I think what's going to happen is something's going to come out, and we're going to hear some things that, the public might not be privy to right now, that maybe someone took offense to something. Maybe there was something preemptive that led to this. But I just have a feeling that this young man, Shane, is not completely, we'll say, innocent or just the 100% victim in this role. Now, to what degree does he have a part to play in this? I don't know. But it's very rarely that this kind of thing just happens in a vacuum where it's like, get out of my seat, no, and then punch you, and then we see what we see now. So he's in an advantage because he's able to kind of sway the court of public opinion right now. But I think when all the facts come out, we're probably going to see it's more, like you said, college stuff happening, especially with a group of people that are very insulated, travel together, live together, practice together, eat together, study together. I don't think it's going to be as uncommon as people think.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
See you. All right. This is, as a society, we become very soft, it says. Shane, was that you? I don't even know. Oh, asking if that was the caller. Shane, that caller was Shane. It says, as a society, we become very soft. You guys are in on the text line, 505-246-0610. Terry says, I'm going to get to that. We'll get to Terry's. Global basketball, this one says, is polarizing. As you said, there's another side to this story. If it's how I understand it went down, the public won't be so quick to judge the alleged, quote, aggressor, end quote, and just might understand why Shane Dumas-Sanchez was punched in the first place. This will definitely end up looking like a cash grab. That's on the text line. Also on the text line, sounds like a walk-on player trying to make money because he didn't get any NIL money. The news said the other player's attorney denied anything happened. The news said walk-on's nose was broken but looked normal in the interview. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for today. I'm just literally looking for your impressions. And like I said, we can all watch the same thing and see different things, right? It happens in news all the time, right? Something happens, we all saw the same thing, but we saw different things. And depends what news channel you go to give you the commentary on, and we all saw different things, right? And I'm just curious, you saw Shane Dumas-Sanchez on the news last night accusing one of his teammates of what you've heard he's been accused of. Where does it go? What did you hear? What did you see? That's what I'm asking. I hate that this is the big story. I do. And I think it goes away here. Tomorrow we're talking about level basketball, and we're talking about how many points Donovan Dent had and Nelly Jr. Joseph had against San Jose.
I do agree, because I think there's a strong sentiment that, this is a nothing burger. And I do think that's where a lot of Lobo fans
Do you believe it's a nothing burger?
I don't think it's a nothing burger, but I don't think it's something that is going to get the noise to the point where,
right,
like the Lobo fan base is clamoring for suspensions or who is this, who or that. Like, it really feels like, all right, just get that kid out of here if he can't handle it, and let's go on with our seasons full of high expectations.
And then, like Steve said here, though, right? He said, what makes punching someone in the face and his injured shoulder okay? Short of punching first, is there anything that makes punching someone okay. It's like the Draymond Green.
No,
and
but
Jordan Poole
is
thing.
it okay? Then from there,
yeah,
is it one where a suspension will work for whoever did the punching, regardless of why it happened?
Let's hit that question first, because I don't think punching is okay, typically, but it is. He says, does name calling make it okay? I don't know. I mean, are there trigger words?
The answer to that question is yes.
I mean, is there a line that you can cross just with your mouth without, being aggressive physically? I think many people, I don't know if most anymore, I think many people would answer that and say, yeah, dude, you mouth off enough, yeah, you're going to get your ass kicked. Whether you're in a sling or not. Now, I'm not telling you that's what happened. There's another side that's going to come out of the story. But just to address Steve's text, he said, does name calling make it okay? Sounds like the case here. As bad as a word may be, doesn't give the kid the right to swing. And I think, punching isn't the way to go, but sometimes dudes settle their business, right? I mean, how much do you take? And I don't know, again, I've heard a lot from the other side. When it comes out, you make your decision. 505-246-0610. We're going to give away another mystery jersey from All In Autographs. We'll do that coming up at, when are we doing that? 9:10? 9:10. We'll do that. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're
Sports Animal.
Now, a bunch of texts coming in on this, and Shane Dumas Sanchez went on the news last night, accused one of his Lobo teammates of sucker punching him, and claims that the coaching staff did nothing about it. Steve said suspend them both and move on. If he was sucker punched from behind or didn't see it coming, that's a bit much to ignore and play the next day. Maybe that's what Shane's issue is. Why did he get to play? But both should have been sent home. Used to be sent them both home and sorted out. Not sure why that's still not the best course of action in situations like this. I got this one. It says, overall, the feedback I'm hearing is two players getting into a fight afterwards and a walk-on kid's mom now looking for money, interested in what the other side's going to be. Fighting's not the answer, but yet it happens, and coaches or team leaders handle it. It's the times we live in now, this generation of ex-gen parents, let's blame others and sue somebody. You can't have him on the team or around the coaches. He's suing them. So that's two kind of totally different impressions of what we all watched last night, right?
Yes, and that's the way it's going to be.
I think that's probably right. All right, you're welcome to continue to get in on it. 505-246-0610. There's a game tonight. The Lobos do play. They play San Jose State. Yeah. Yep. This guy's decided what you and I think. It does appear herein that you two KNML talk show hosts are convinced who among the UNM basketball players is guilty in the team's May public injury matter. We absolutely haven't. Absolutely haven't. Like the last caller said, if you're around anyone too much, your best friends can turn into enemies and right back again. Might be the best the team has been in years. We have to make sure everyone is safe and okay. Okay? This is all on the text line, 505-246-0610. This one says, sounds like a kid who has an uncle that's a lawyer, thus having the resources. I don't know anything. I don't know. I don't believe the lawyer is related to him, but I don't know that for sure. This one says, what is he even going on trips for anyway? He's a walk-on that's hurt for the rest of the season. He's part of the team. I mean, that's, I guess I can see from outside, dude, why are you spending money bringing that kid on the trip anyway, right? But he's a walk-on. He's a part. Yeah, I mean, he's part of your team. Injured players go on trips.
Injured players do travel at times. You still get the experience and being around the team.
Yeah. All right, you can keep them coming. Boy, we got a lot of feedback today on this. A lot. And like I said, I'm just kind of curious where you are after watching it. We've heard one side of the story, and the lawyer for the accused said that, no, that's not what happened, and there's another side of the story. So it'll come out. All right, can we hit some other stuff? You want to hit this NFL thing, please? Dak Prescott. When's he going to be back? Look, Cowboy fan, whether you like it or not.
That's your quarterback.
That's right. That is right. Dak Prescott is your quarterback. And he's got the injury, and he's out for the year. His plan is to start, quote, OTAs and start the offseason, no restriction, full go. That's part getting this jump on this surgery and we thought was inevitable anyway. At that point, just doing everything I can to be the best quarterback and leader of this team and help this team come back next year with the best outfit that we can. All right, so he plans on being back for OTAs. I think what was more headline-grabbing what he said is he hopes Mike McCarthy will be coaching this team. I wholeheartedly believe in him. Or I believe in him wholeheartedly is what he said. I was watching something yesterday. Mike McCarthy, if you blind resume this, right? Like they do when NCAA tournament comes up, blind resume this team versus this team, or you look at the back of a baseball card. His peers are like Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin.
Yes, they are.
His longevity, how many games he's won, how many Super Bowls he's won, the quarterbacks that he's attributed to having positive effects on development. His peers are Mike Tomlin and Sean Payton. And I know he gets this rep. He's a horrible coach. Well, people tell me Mike Tomlin's a horrible coach too, right? We were questioning Sean Payton, weren't we? So I keep going back to this. Now, I will buy into a coach can wear out his welcome. It's time to make a change. But you got to give me an idea who of that ilk is going into that job. Who's going into that with that ownership?
Yeah.
No, honestly, with that situation.
This is, I think with Dallas, this is definitely, hey, is this a roster issue or a coaching issue?
And the answer is the former. Now, you can tell me that there's a little coaching issues, and we can listen to that. But the answer is the roster. No, I want to hit that, and I want to go a little bit further on that. Hey, Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. I totally agree with you. The roster is completely the issue with the Cowboys, and it's definitely Jerry Jones. I don't think Mike McCarthy's fantastic, but I don't think he's the super issue. But, hey, what I wanted to jump on was this whole UNM basketball thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's twofold. Okay, so first of all, in today's world, I certainly don't agree that it's like some mom in the background or an uncle lawyer that's just trying to get paid. But in today's world, you know, we have this like come out and talk about everything. Come out and talk about everything, every single thing, any kind of issues. Always coming out and talk about it. And, you know, all the commercials on this station as well are, you know, mental health. Don't let things build up too bad. Talk about everything. So that's one aspect of this. And I feel like any kind of thing at all, is definitely going to be brought up. In today's world of social media and players with their own accounts and everything, all kind of stuff like this is going to come out. And so we got to deal with that. But the second issue about this is that volatile things, you know, things like that have like uranium and plutonium, these things are really, really unstable. They have a bunch of power, but, you know, they're unstable inside of them. Whereas you have like kind of malignant things like, you know, something that doesn't have any potential energy or nothing good coming out of it. You know, there's nothing that's going to come out of it while it's just idle and sitting there as well. What I'm trying to get at here is that when you have issues like this arising inside your basketball team, what happens is you're realizing that underneath the surface there's some chemistry and there's something that could explode into something really, really big. And I don't mean dramatic in the news. Of course, it could do that. But I'm talking about on the court. Like there's probably more kinetic and potential energy inside this team than there may have been in the past. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Decipher that for me.
Is he saying there's something simmering and ready to blow
Something
up?
ready to blow
I don't
up.
believe that at all.
I'm not sure I do either. There can be
again, this stuff happened before they played 2 games against USC and Arizona State, and watching those games, no one was like, "Oh man, this team seems off. There's something wrong."
Yeah, there can be isolated incidents too, and well, what he just said can be right, and it be the sign of something simmering or brewing or bubbling or whatever. I imagine. I just, to your point, they went out and played 2 pretty competitive games, lost to a good Arizona State team by 3 and beat USC by 10. And I again, even in retrospect, go back and look. I didn't see anything. Could it be? I imagine it's a theory. It's just like everybody else has a theory, man. I mean, every text I get, every call I get, I'm listening to theories, right? So you can bring them to 505-246-0610. Emails, jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, jj@sportsanimалabq.com. Gopher says, Jeff, why are we talking about walk-ons? Jeff, I've never been around a school where we talk more about walk-ons. Who cares? Why is an injured player even traveling? It's from Gopher. Well, I mean, the
walk-on was on the news accusing one of his teammates of assault.
Yeah. Therein lies the reason. Therein lies the reason. All right, if you're on the phone, stay there. I'm going to get back to you as soon as we get back. I want to tell you about the Albuquerque Convention Center. I tell you about them on a daily basis because I really like what they do. You've been to events there. I've been to events there. In fact, we host an event there each year for Isleta New Mexico Bowl. Why? Because they're fantastic, because they take care of our guests, because the food is good, the service is great, the spot is spectacular, 600,000 square feet plus of flexible indoor and outdoor meeting space right in the heart of downtown Albuquerque. They will accommodate anything you've got imaginable, from intimate meetings and gatherings to grand expos and conferences. They've got staff, they've got service, food and beverage options that go above and beyond. Your event will become a reality. The dream event becomes real. Whether it's 10 people, 20,000 people, a holiday party, a gala, a reception, meetings, whatever it is you've got, go to their website, take a look at what they got. I know you've been there. Parking adjacent, easy in, easy out. Be at the center of it all. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Go to albuquerquecc.com. That's Albuquerque CC, or give them a call at 505-768-4575. 505-768-4575. It is the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient. They're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Okie. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez.
And AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Bucket is the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the sports animal. John, thanks for holding your on the sports animal. Good day, sir. Let me do that again. Oh, you're on. Hey, John. Hello, John. All right, I'm doing that. Let's go to Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, here's my take, okay? It's we got two cowardly acts. Anybody that would hit somebody in a sling, knowing they can't hit back, you're either a coward or at the very least you performed a very cowardly act. So I'll be interested to see who that was. And, I have some suspicions. But number two, in my opinion, it's a cowardly act to take this to the level that this person has taken it to, which to me means that, number one, he wasn't good enough to play and probably isn't good enough to play. And I heard him last night say, well, that was always his dream to play on the Pit and the Lobos. Well, gee whiz, my dream was to play second base for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I didn't make that either. But to me, it smells that he was looking for an excuse on a team that he's not good enough to play on, and a way to get off and get something out of it. That's my take.
All right. Appreciate you, Jerry. Thank you very much. Yeah. And that's not an uncommon take either, right? I mean, they're all over the place. And I appreciate everybody's, that's kind of what this forum is about today. What did you see? You saw Shane last night on the news. What's your take? Knowing that we only know one side of the story. Let me try this again. John, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, John. All right, then. Tried. I got an email from John. Maybe a different John, maybe the same. It says, hey, guys, while a punch is never okay, when it comes down to it, this sounds like an internal issue that happens more than people think and should have been left that way and dealt with internally. Like you said, Jeff, it's low on the scale of things that can happen. It's not theft. It's not rape. It's not armed assault. It's not even breaking into the home team's facility and urinating, et cetera, on the field. It really is a fight between two teammates that should have been left internal. I'm sure both parties were wrong, but it happens. It sounds like someone looking for money or sympathy, or maybe even a reason to blame something for why they didn't last with the team to save face. Well, you two guys have a good day. John. JG, I'm feeling, and this doesn't surprise me, right? I mean, Lobo basketball fans going to side with Lobo basketball.
Oh, of course.
And I'm starting to get the feeling that Shane going public like that last night, from the majority of what we're hearing, and tell me if you're hearing the same thing, didn't really work for him, that more people are looking at him going, dude, what are you doing? That's what I know that's super general. That's the majority of what I think.
The way to generalize, I think, the majority of the reaction to this. And the question you're asking is, all right, you saw an interview from him, and how do you feel? I think a lot of people feel that he's chasing something that's not there. I
mean, that's the majority of what I think I'm hearing today. Yeah. And again, you and I keep telling you, man, the other side of the story is going to come out. And then you can make a decision. Whoever said that earlier, and we've kind of been saying this, is so right. There's three sides, right? There's his side, and then there's probably what happened. And both lawyers will tell you, no, my guy's side is exactly what happened. No, my guy's side is that didn't happen. All right. Honestly, dude, I'm not sure I care that much. The sling part is interesting, like Jerry just said. I mean, taking a swipe at a guy who's obviously injured, that is a layer to it, right? There is an element to that. I don't know if you're going to ever hear something that says, oh, I get why he did that. All right. And you might hear that. You might. And when the other side comes out, you might say, oh, dude, I might have taken a swipe at him too. Or you might say, hell no, it's never okay. But that element of it is almost what Shane's holding on to, isn't it, at this point? Yeah, a little bit. All right, we got other stuff to do. We do. We can get in on the CFP. I want to talk a little bit more about Dak Prescott's thoughts on Mike McCarthy. Tom Brady had some comments about quarterbacks and sliding too late. Is that what happened with Trevor Lawrence when he got domed, resulting in a 3-game suspension for the guy who hit him? Got a lot to do today. 505-246-0610. We're here for you on the night that the Lobos open up conference play in basketball. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Well, little morning, huh? It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Bach. Glad you are with us. 505-246-0610. Come on in today. A lot of talk about the situation in Louisville basketball. They open up the season tonight at home against San Jose State. And we can get in on the game. It will be over on News Radio KKOB. And they're 19.5-point favorites. And Richard Pitino talked about it. We can listen to him a little bit on what he feels about a 20-game conference schedule and all those things. I've asked you your opinion, and you've been very free with your opinion. And they've been varying, although there has been a little bit of a common, I don't want to say common theme, maybe a majority feel. How about that? You saw Shane Dumas-Sanchez, the former Del Norte player, the walk-on for Louisville basketball, on the news last night. I'm certain that you've seen him by now. He went on the news and accused another player basically of assault. And the other player, who's not been named publicly, has a lawyer, and that lawyer is, and I've spoken with that lawyer, denies what Shane said and says there's a completely other side to this story, and at some point it'll come out. So I've been asking you, when you saw Shane last night, what did you think? Your impression was what? Did he accomplish what he was looking to accomplish? And you'll say, Jeff, what was he looking to accomplish? I'm not certain. I don't know Shane, to be honest with you. I guess they would tell you they were looking to accomplish what? Getting the story out that the coaches did that their guy was assaulted for no reason, and the coaches didn't do anything, and they're setting up a lawsuit, right? I guess that's what that was, right? Did it accomplish anything for you? Text line, fellas, this is a bad situation. It should have stayed in-house. I hope this does not affect the recruiting of local kids in the future as walk-ons who will probably never play much. Have a great day. It's from Steve. It's interesting. Look, I don't want to say always. There's typically been a walk-on at the end of the bench who was a good local player that didn't get D1 offers. It probably could have gone and played somewhere, but decided to be a walk-on and be a part of the Lobos team and maybe get in a game now and then. Go down your roster year after year after year. There's typically, not always, typically been a player like that. Shane's that guy. JJ, I don't know if that affects walk-ons in the future. I would hope not. But, we'll see. Look, I think when this is said and done, I think this is a 2-day story. Once the other side comes out, you'll know who the player is. Maybe there's discipline. Maybe there's not. One thing, I listened to Richard Pitino again, JJ. He said, as far as any of the discipline, we are handling in-house. So that doesn't mean, he didn't say if there's any discipline, we would handle it in-house. He said, as far as that, we are handling, which makes me believe something's happening, right? I mean, he said we're handling it in-house, internally, I think he said. So
yeah, and along those lines, probably never going to know what it is.
That's right.
And
you don't need to.
No, but I think the ultimate thing with any athlete is playing time. But
well, I mean, the athlete played, the accused athlete. Again, you're gonna have to judge how serious you think it is. What really happened? I mean, I'm gonna guess the coaches probably know the truth, right? They probably know all the truth by now. The lawyers could do the lawyer thing, man. Go do your lawyer thing. Go play it in the media. Go do what you got to do.
Yeah, and I think a big thing for me,
yeah,
even going through this situation, not necessarily at this moment in time trying to say which side is right or wrong.
Yeah.
With what we know transpired.
Yeah.
All right, two dudes going at it. I don't look at it as, at this moment, I have the feeling that, someone has to be kicked off the team, or, this is a head coach losing it, this, that. It's kind of what you've discussed. Like, yes, this was an incident. I don't think it derails or affects this team at all. It's noisy right now, but most of the noise is like backing up Lobo basketball.
Yeah.
So I don't think it hurts them.
And the noise was made by a walk-on. I mean, this is where Lobo fan is. Like, look, man, my team's pretty good. Some damn walk-on is got punched. Did he mouth off? What did he do? I mean, it's hard. Like who was the call? Was it Jeff who called? So, dude, how often does a guy just come by, say, give me that seat, and slug you, right? I mean, there's more to it, that there's a dispute over a seat and the guy got sucker punched. Okay, it's hard to believe that that's all there was to it, right? I mean, it just is. Just is. So I think this thing goes away here in a couple of days, and when the other side comes out, and you're like, wow, okay, a couple guys got into it, and you move on. But I can't tell you how many texts I got yesterday or calls. And again, good friends who are Lobo fans. And JJ, they're and people I consider cerebral, smart, grounded people, who are like, two dudes got in a fight on a team trip, like it happens all the time. Why is this in the freaking news? Right? And that was,
well,
I got that
it's
a bunch
in the
of
news because one of the parties came out. We understand that. So we don't know the motivations behind it. There's attention grab. If there is saying, hey, we're going to sue, so money comes involved. The other aspect of it is something did happen and nothing was handled, thus they feel the need to go this route.
Well, is a player unsafe, right? Is player safety involved? Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. What's up, Hoser?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, just wanted to chime in on this particular topic. I think you're right. It's just, I think the failure goes in the beginning. If it did happen on the plane, there should have been one coach that should have seen the situation and addressed it right away. I don't know if there's assigned seating or something, but one of those guys could have just been like, hey, let me just leave it alone. It's just a seat. It's just something that just really got, it got in a bad situation, especially when you start involving police and lawyers. I mean, now it's like no going back. So it's right. Unfortunate, but I remember growing up, going on bus rides. I mean, there was fights on, where would it sit, and I remember coaches just really getting on us right away, and and making us, move us around, making us sit somewhere else. But I know how times have changed, so it's just kind of the culture that we're in now. It's like, man, you just got to be careful. But even more, I think that's why it's important for a coach to really get a hold of it right away, so it doesn't get to that point.
Interesting. All right, man. Appreciate you.
You got it.
Later. All right. 505-246-0610. All right, I'm about done with this. Do you have this?
You ain't done with it.
I know. Hey, can we? So let's do this. Richard Pitino did talk about basketball, and there is a game tonight, and it is the start of a 20-game conference schedule. So, which is more than it's been in the past, and that means less non-conference games. That means earlier conference games. It means you will play everybody twice, right? Is that right? There's no, like, we didn't go to Utah State, or San Diego State didn't come to us, or whatever. This is Richard Pitino and his thoughts on the 20-game schedule and what it means going forward.
I don't know if 20 games is the answer or not. We did 18 last year and got 6 teams in the NCAA tournament. I think we all thought it was a good idea at the start, and then as it unfolded, we were like, oh, maybe it's not a great idea. But, can't go back now on it. So, our guys, it is weird. I mean, holidays, and, you're so used to January league games, but it is what it is. So, it's everybody, all these teams are trying to win a championship. And so obviously this is a regular season game, and we've got to do our very, very best to take advantage of a great opportunity.
Not everybody loved it when they did it. Not everybody thought it was a great idea. Many thought it was a good idea. There were a few schools who were very vocal about not doing it. But it does feel weird.
Yeah, when you have these conference games sprinkled in early December, but you play in 20 of them, got to play them at some point.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. Hello, Howard. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good morning. Playing second base for the Pirates sounds more like a nightmare than a dream. Why couldn't you go Yankees or Dodgers?
Because he's from that. That's his team, man. You get it. I mean, it's not like, you got saddled with the Cowboys,
my dream could be playing the quarterback for the Cowboys, but that could be a reality, too.
Yeah, you're up next. Yep.
Anyhow, I'm going to be selfish Lobo fan, okay? It's too bad that this came out the way it did yesterday. I wish we could take the focus off of that and focus on this schedule they've got up ahead of them. I think there's a lot of potential on this team, and I'd say let that thing play out behind the scenes amongst lawyers or whoever, but let's move on with the basketball season, guys. I'm looking forward to Patino bringing a Mountain West championship home. Have a good day.
Later. The hell's on the back? It sounded like a monster burping, didn't it? Like some sort of a burping dragon or like a Disney character. All right, he wants to move on with basketball. Well, you will tonight, and I think that'll be the thought tonight. All right, when we come back, what Tom Brady had to say about quarterbacks maybe being penalized for sliding late. Is it Trevor Lawrence's fault that he got domed? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor.
3 games yesterday by the NFL. The Texans linebacker suspended for his hit that concussed Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. J.J., you were mentioning this yesterday about how quarterbacks fake they're going down or fake they're going out of bounds and then try to get extra yards. Mahomes does it all the time. And guys are afraid to hit a quarterback because they're going to get penalized. So they kind of ease up, and then the quarterback darts past them and gets 20 yards down the sideline or something. But yet, if you hit the quarterback, you're penalized, you're suspended. Tom Brady, yes, that Tom Brady, was on the Herd with Colin Cowherd here on the Sports Animal yesterday. And he suggested that quarterbacks be penalized or even fined for sliding too late. Quote Tom Brady now, maybe they fine or penalize a quarterback for sliding late, and say, look, we don't want these hits to take place. We got to penalize the offensive and defensive players rather than just penalize the defensive player for every single play that happens when there's a hit on the quarterback, end quote. I don't know how you do it.
Don't like it. I want less intense stuff in the game. Like if there's a hit like
judging
that,
intent. We have to judge intent.
Oh, I was actually trying to get the first down, but you faked here and did a juke, so I think you fake sliding. No, but I was trying to get the first down. No, that's quarterback fake. You're moving back 15 yards. Like, no. Like, what happened was a crazy hit. I don't think they need to change any rules.
Well,
I don't think you need to look at it and go, all right, we need to start penalizing quarterbacks for this. Like, there's already enough protection on these dudes.
Yeah.
You're outside the pocket. You're a runner. You can get hit. And if a player wants to go over the top, that's then the fallout from it is fines and suspensions. But I don't look at that and say the game needs to be changed. It was a crazy hit in football.
So I tend to agree with you. I would work on the interpretation a little bit. So do you and I both agree that the Azeez Al-Shaair hit was over the top? You're not as convinced as I am, right?
It was bad, but I don't think that he's like, you're playing football. You're going to go hit someone.
Right.
And much like receivers coming over the middle, you're going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And he was going to hit Trevor Lawrence regardless. But I don't feel like there needs to be changes because of that play.
I agree with you. Now, I also agree with the suspension. And it's a repeat offender who was suspended for 3 games for being a repeat offender. And the hit was vicious, and the hit was over the top to me. This is everything. Like, again, 20 years ago, that's a hit in football. Fine. 20 years ago, quarterbacks weren't sliding. Okay? The slide is put in to protect the quarterback whether you like it or not, the quarterback is your moneymaker in this league, and a vicious launch with the forearm, with force to the head and the neck area is everything they're trying to get out of football. That was over the top.
It's just like hitting a defenseless receiver. But then you take the penalty, the potential fines, and what comes from it.
Now, I think there's a lot of penalties that aren't suspendable that shouldn't be penalties to me. A lot of, that hit, like that hit, okay, JJ, listen, that exact play, if he kind of pulls up, he launches, he flies over him, and let's say his chest, he tries to avoid him and his chest hits dude in the head. Okay? That shouldn't be penalized to me. Because at some point, dude's got to stop from going full speed to zero, and it can't happen.
That's where I am even with the hit itself.
Yeah, see, I'm not there with that hit.
You know how fast that happened in real
I
time?
do. And I watched it a bunch of times. I'm going to differ with you on that one. That one, just because it was such a forcible launch with the forearm to the head, he to your point, he was going to hit Trevor Lawrence, and he was going to hurt Trevor Lawrence on that play. Quarterbacks are going down, and also that quarterback ain't deking you in the middle of the field. He's going down. But
I'm at this point.
Yeah.
Hit them.
Okay.
If they're out, hit them, and take whatever.
I don't know that I hate that either.
Happen after the fact.
Yeah, I don't know that I hate that either. I get protecting your quarterback, protecting your moneymaker, but I mean, at some point, defensive guys and have to be able to play football. And where Tom Brady's going, I don't necessarily hate it as much as you do, because quarterbacks get everything. And
I just don't like another judgment call.
I agree with that.
Like, do I want to see these dudes taking quarterbacks' heads off? No, but I'm not also going to overreact to one moment.
The quarterbacks are playing their advantage, right? He thinks I'm going to go out of bounds. Watch this, okay. and then
if they get hit, they get hit.
Yeah, that's my point. They should be able to get hit.
We're at week 14 going into week 14 of the season, and people are acting like
they've never seen it before.
The NFL's broken. They need to fix this. No, this was the worst one. And I've heard people screaming, get the slide out of the game, this or that. Well, I watched Tua go head first and get concussed. Like, it's football. You're outside of the pocket.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to get hit, don't run, just fall down.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hi, Jeffrey.
Good morning. Another lovely day in Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. Thanks for the show. I just wanted to make kind of an overarching point, if I can. First of all, none of us as listeners were present, so by definition, we're all wildly speculating, including me. But my point is, we tend to live in a society here that compels us to dichotomize issues and assume positions always as binary. We have to take a side. And particularly when you are litigating an issue, lawyers compel us to make the situation, in this case, a kid in a sling who doesn't play, look as, at least optically, he's oppressed, he's powerless and victimized. When in fact, life is extraordinarily complicated, and particularly when you're dealing with competitive kids who aren't fully developed in terms of even their brains. They're 18 to 24 years of age or so. They're in a plane, they're going on a trip, and all the testosterone is basically manifesting itself. But the point is, when attorneys get involved and there's litigation, as a society, we're forced to make the issue binary and dichotomized, and we're forced to take an issue. When in fact, because we're never there, we're going to actually never know what happens. But I just want all of us to just think about life being extraordinarily nuanced and complicated, and we'll never quite know what happens. But I hope the issue is resolved. And as a selfish Lobo basketball fan, because I try not to be a hypocrite, I hope the player that does face discipline faces the discipline before conference games. And I know that's selfish, but I'm just being honest with you.
You got conference game tonight. Thanks, Jeffrey. You got one tonight. I'm going to imagine, I've heard nothing about suspensions, not that we need to hear about it, but I'm going to imagine that player will play tonight. Don't you think so?
Yeah, this point, I think what we're going to see is what we see from a lot of things that's handled internally. there's been discipline, and you're not going to see anyone not playing basketball.
Yeah, that's right. All right. I forgot to give this away at 9:10, like I said, so we'll do it at 9 now. Caller number 4 right now. It's our 12 days of jerseys. We get a mystery box from our friends at All In Autographs, and in the mystery box is a signed jersey, mystery signed jersey, and you will get one of them if you are caller number 4 right now. 505-246-0610, caller 4, you will win a signed jersey from All In Autographs, so call now and be caller number 4. Hey, I want to tell you about IPS as well, because you see their vehicles all around town. You see them at the stores. You see them in your neighborhoods. IPS is affordable, private security. If you've been the victim of a home or business break-in, you understand it takes a long time for the cops to show up. There's just not enough of them to answer all the calls. However, if you are a client of IPS and your alarm goes off, they show up within 5 to 7 minutes with a trained armed security officer. They've got officers strategically placed around town, and they react quickly. Many times they catch the criminals in the act. Look, I've trusted IPS for years to watch my home. Businesses and homeowners in Albuquerque and Santa Fe trust them as well. Don't wait to be a victim. Call IPS now, 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. Go online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past.
Open up the conference schedule. They will play San Jose State. Bronco Mendenhall said yesterday he's not been approached nor interviewed by Utah State. Jay Hill, I'm hearing is out. I'm hearing a lot of Brian Harsin for that job, which is an interesting one to me too. But I just don't think they've got it figured out yet. Probably not going to be Nate Dreiling, right? All right, 505-246-0610. We've talked a lot today about the Lobo basketball situation. If you're just joining us, you probably saw Shane Dumas Sanchez on the news last night. Somebody sent you a link. You've watched it. I've asked you what your thought was, your impression after watching that. Do you have a feeling on who's right, who's not right, what the story is? Is it a story to you? It's a story, whether you want it to be or not. It's a story. Matt says, what really worries me, Jeff, obviously unfortunate, not a great look for a Lowell basketball program, but I'm really not too worried about it. Pitino has not had any real issues in his 4 years here. I'm confident he won't even be talking about this in January, or we won't be. He said, what I'm more worried about is the Bronco-Utah State situation. Yes, he answered the questions yesterday, but he sure didn't answer it in a way that inspires a ton of confidence. To Van Tate's question, he sounded like Trump with his perfectly executed weave. Thankful Sean Ryder rephrased the question at the end. Bronco's answer was more direct, but it still had a bit of dodgy feel to it. What I would have liked to hear is no truth to the rumor. I'm all in on New Mexico and building this thing. I don't know why one would not answer in that manner. You're trying to recruit your own roster, bring in new players, build ticket sales, etc. Why leave any doubt? Seems like that would only destabilize things. The only angle I can imagine, aside from the possibility that he really is interested in Utah State, is that he wants UNM leadership to sweat a little, maybe leverage for more funding for his staff and program. Talk me off the ledge. It's from Matt. Matt, I'm not sure I can talk you off the ledge on that. You know what was interesting to me in that, JJ, was almost more so his body language when he answered Sean Ryder's question at the end. You know what I mean? He kind of looked off to the side. And I don't know if he was looking at Frank or who he was looking at over, but it was like looking off to the side. But, you know, I've not been approached by or interviewed with Utah State.
Well, that's also just Bronco at these press conferences. Like, that was the longest press conference he's had all season.
It was like 32 minutes. Yeah.
And it was like 23 minutes longer than he wants to go standing there.
100%. Yeah, fair. So he was done. That's fair. But body language says something too. And you know, this emailer's not wrong now. I mean, could he flat out say, "Look, man, I'm not interested in that job. I'm not taking that job." He did do a heck of a weave the first time when Van asked him a question and talked about speculation. And there's always speculation this time of year, and and we're used to it. And you know, we wish things were perfect and whatever. Went on this long weave and didn't really answer the question. And so Sean asked him at the end, hey, just to be clear. And the first time he said, Sean said, just to be clear, you have not been approached or interviewed with Utah State. And he tried to spin it again, right? I mean, he said, I've only been speculating. Do you have all that right now? All right, go ahead and play this again, please.
And to be clear, I mean, you have been approached by Utah State?
I have only been speculated to have been contacted by. So
you have not been approached or interviewed?
I have not been approached or interviewed.
Okay. And the first time he's like, I've only been speculated. And good for Sean for following that up. You know, one of you said, I got an email somewhere. It said the question should have been, has anybody been contacted by a third party like you or your agent? I mean, look, could it have happened? Could there be conversation? Sure, there can. Yeah. So Matt, I don't know that I can talk you off the ledge until that.
And honestly, too, in the coaching profession,
yeah,
like there's going to be contact, and even if you like, we need to pin him down and put him in the corner to answer this. Like, coaches get contacted just as players do. Like. And I don't think any player or coach is going to make a definitive statement at this time. Like, it's just the way it is. Yeah. And you're going to feel uneasy about it as a fan.
Yeah. Somebody told me last week, somebody that should be in the know, but I couldn't confirm it, that he did interview. But I'm like, I can't. I mean, I couldn't confirm that. David's in on the basketball situation. Good morning, Jeff. Wanted to get my 2 cents in on the Shane Dumas-Sanchez incident. While Shane was an accomplished high school player, he was and is not good enough to warrant a D1 basketball scholarship. UNM offered him a walk-on slot to appease the Native American fan base, casino sponsorships, and because his father was a UNM basketball manager in the 90s. It's unfortunate that his family has seen too many attorney commercials on television and are now looking for some quick cash. By putting him out there, his family now needs to be prepared for the skeletons in his closet to come out, which is unfortunate. I will say this for Shane. He's a quick healer. I've never seen anyone with a broken nose not have any swelling, bruising, or black eyes a few days after sustaining the injury. It's from David. Wow. Okay. Quite the allegations, but, I mean, I'll read it. You sent it. Aaron, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Aaron.
Hey, I'm just getting back into town, and this is the first I'm hearing about it, but that email that you read is very, very disturbing that someone could blame someone who got punched in the face and threaten them that their skeletons are going to come out of the closet for being assaulted. That's a very eye-opening email, and that person's priorities in life, I think, are a little off if they're concerned about a basketball program. I'm just wondering, like, it's pretty sure this kid did punch Shane Dumas-Sanchez in the face, correct?
Allegedly. Again, the alleged assailant or assaulter or whatever, his lawyer said it did. He denies it and says there's a whole other story to this and denies it. So allegedly, we've got one side of the story.
Okay. I mean, if it comes out that he got punched in the face like that, I mean, if I were to punch someone in the face, like I would probably have to go to jail. Like I would have a police assault charge on me.
Maybe. I mean, is there any?
How is this not happening?
Yeah. Well, again, because we don't have the whole story. Would you? And look, I'm not advocating hitting someone in the face. I'm not. Is there any justification for someone to swing? Is there anything that can be said? Is there a justification?
There's nothing that can be said for that could make you punch someone in the face. Okay. Now, if someone is assaulting you, yeah, you can punch them in the face.
Defense, yeah.
Maybe if they spit on you or something like that, maybe. But nothing said that's going to make you swing on somebody.
Okay.
Especially a teammate.
Aaron, I'm losing you.
There's nothing that could be.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you.
I'm just saying there's nothing said on an airplane.
Yeah.
Between teammates that can be said on that.
Got it.
And then I'm very concerned that this player has played 2 games and is about to play a third.
Got it.
I'm very concerned that that's not happening.
So what should happen? And if in fact, I mean, from what you know.
Okay.
Yeah, your phone's cutting out, dude. All right. But I get where he's from. So what he's saying is, dude should. I mean, he shouldn't be playing basketball. This alleged assaultant. Is that even a word? Assailant? Assaulter? Aggressor. How about that? The alleged aggressor. He's saying there's no reason to swing, which I understood. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and advocate punching some dude in the face. I don't know. You and I might say, hey, enough is enough. If there's something that's said and said enough times, might warrant taking a swipe.
And this is an environment in which players going at it, getting into a physical altercation is different than having this happen in
practice.
No, I'm saying
in the real world,
in your office at a restaurant. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's different.
I almost think people would accept that. I don't know if that last caller, Aaron, would have, if it happened in practice, more so than if it happened on the airplane. And I think a lot of people would say the emotions are high. They're in practice.
Well, here's the thing we have to talk about.
Yeah.
From what we know about this story, there was not a fight on the airplane. Correct?
I mean,
like there might have been some verbal stuff.
Okay.
But if the fight happened on an airplane, then there'd be everyone would know, like the coaches, people there, like, because we keep saying, it started potentially a disagreement on the airplane, but how loud, how vocal did it get at that point?
Yeah. I mean, again, maybe it'll come out. Text line, gents, unfortunately, this basketball story is dominating the talk today, which is a negative story. It always does. Congrats to our all-conference Mountain West football players, Devon Baraka and Luke and Mackenzie. Also, you forgot your first team, or I guess there's Devin. I read it as Devon. It's spelled different. No, maybe it's spelled right. Luke and Mackenzie and the 2 honorable mentions. Should have had Coach of the Year. Go Lobos and go Broncos from Steve. The fact that Devin Dampier was recognized as the first team all-conference quarterback was right. It was
yes,
right.
It was.
And all your buddies up in Boise can go get pissed off all they want and go play in their championship game. The league, the people who voted on all conference teams in the Mountain West at quarterback got it right.
Yes, they did. 100%.
I mean, as good as the Broncos quarterback was, Boise State's quarterback is. And he's going to go play in a championship game this weekend, and he's going to go play in the playoff. And I'm taking, and again, I tell you all the time, just because if you think Michael's better than LeBron doesn't mean you think LeBron stinks, right? If you think Devin Dampier is better than Maddox Madsen, right? Is his name? It doesn't mean Maddox Madsen's no good. It just means Devin Dampier had a better year. Devin Dampier should have been and was the first team all-conference quarterback in the Mountain West Conference. That was just. And it doesn't always get just, dude. It doesn't. We don't always get justice, but that was just. Also on the text line, love JJ's take on that penalty hit against Trevor Lawrence. No new NFL rules require players are fully aware of all 15-yard offenses, or should be. Thanks, guys. It's from John. All right. Mud wants to know why an injured walk-on was allowed on the trip, because injured walk-ons go on trips. I mean,
because your basketball parties
part of the team.
Are small enough that you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're part of a team. I mean, it just you're part of a team. That's why. Not sure what this is, so I won't read it. How'd that get to the top of the inbox? All right, 505-246-0610. Wrap it up when we get back. You still have time to get in. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here, and I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If someone says something about my mother, daughter, wife, or sister, I'm sorry, but depending on what they say, more than likely, they're going to get a knuckle sandwich. From Chris. What's in response to, is it ever okay to swing on someone? Is there something that someone could say that would be okay to take a swipe? 505-246-0610. You can absolutely say words that will provoke a response. An example would be threatening somebody with violence, and they were in fear that they might need to defend themselves. Okay? Again, you're going to get very, very differing opinions on this. Can words ever warrant taking a swipe? You're going to get really, really different opinions on this. Hey, on that Lobo football stuff, Devin Dampier, and I didn't know this, became the first Lobo quarterback to be first team All Mountain West. Period. Not since. He's the first Lobo quarterback to be first team All Mountain West, and that's the Mountain West basically been this century, right? He is the first quarterback to earn any All Conference honor, first team, since 1998. Graham Lee was named first team All WAC. JJ, there's only been, in the history of Lobo football, there's only been 5 quarterbacks to be named first team All Conference. They've been playing 91 years in conference play. It was now Devin Dampier and Graham Lee. And Lee did it in 97 and 98. Stoney Case in 1994 went on to the NFL. Rocky Long in 1971. And Stan Quintana in 1964. That's the kind of year Devin Dampier had.
It was a phenomenal season. He was the focal point to why this team was able to rebound once they got to Mountain West play.
Yeah. It was pretty special. It was a pretty special year. Baraka Beckett, first team All Offensive Line. Luke Wysong, it was a second teamer along with Mackenzie Agnello. And then honorable mention on defense, Luke Avenger, Trace Buckler, tight end. Defense, Christian Ellis, running back Eli Sanders, and Bryce Santana. So that's 9 dudes that made the list. 2 first and 2 second teams. Look, it's a good building block. Fernando Lobo is going to be introduced here in 12 minutes over at the Pit as the new athletic director, the introductory press conference. You can watch it live if you're not out there. You can go over to golobos.com, and they're going to have that on there. They did it just when we can't make it, dude. So we weren't invited. That's all right. I don't need to be invited to that kind of stuff. You know what? I did the company Christmas party last night. That was plenty. Or holiday party, as you call it. All right, what do you got to know as you go through your day? Lobo basketball tonight over on News Radio KKOB. Opening up league play, New Mexico, San Jose State. 6:30 pregame show. 7 o'clock is when they will tip it off. New Mexico and San Jose State. Lobos are 19.5-point favorites. New college football playoff rankings came out yesterday. Last team in as of now is Alabama. First team out is Miami. A lot of controversy over that. The ACC is losing their mind. JJ and I differ a little bit on this, but I understand the other side of it, and it really is razor thin. Are Alabama's wins enough to erase their bad losses?
as opposed to Miami, who doesn't really have a great win because they didn't have an opportunity on their schedule. They didn't play Clemson. They didn't get SMU on their league schedule. That's how it is, man. You guys won 18-team leagues and 16-team leagues, and you're going to mix up your schedules like this. And, I mean, Indiana's not going to play anybody some years. Right? Michigan's going to get Oregon and Washington and Ohio State and, right? So, I mean, sometimes it's going to happen that way. That's how you want these huge leagues, man. That's how it's going to be. What else you got to do as you go on through your day? I mean, you've heard all about the Lobo football and basketball stuff. We've been talking about it all day. Great comments today, and I appreciate the cerebral conversation. And it's until you know everything, we'll talk it through. It says Lobo football announcing all the new signed recruits on social media. Looks like some strong talent. Yeah, I've been watching some of that come out as well. So I'm just making sure I got most of what you sent, because some of it is like, ha ha. The accusations that are thrown at us by that one dude is pretty good. I know. That guy should get his own show. Probably should have this show. That's probably how that should work. All right, tonight, Lobo basketball. What else do you get? Oh, we didn't get into the NBA Cup, right? So they paired down now. Now we're going into the knockout round?
Yes.
All right. So anything special happened in the NBA Cup that I should know about?
Not last night.
No? All right.
Special.
All right. I laugh when I see this as a headline. Like, really? 76ers to be without Joel Embiid and Paul George tonight versus the Magic. Wouldn't it be a headline if those guys actually did play?
I'm with you. The headline is if they're in the lineup.
Right? The headline to me is not, oh, those guys aren't playing. It's like, yeah, no, I expect that. They don't play much. Those guys, they don't. And you may get a Juan Soto conversation here pretty soon. The biggest name on the free agent market, the former, well, he might soon still be a Yankee. Scott Boras' agent said that they're narrowing it down, and Juan Soto is going to have a deal probably in the $700 million range. Yankees, Mets, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Dodgers, all are known candidates to get him. It'll be more than $600 million, maybe close to $700 million. Could span up to 15 years, and it could be bonkers. Shohei Ohtani's got that $700 million deal, but more than 95% of that deal is deferred. This deal is going to be bonkers. He's not going to Toronto, right? And maybe he will.
Does this come down to biggest check or the biggest check from what he feels is the best destination?
Well, what's the best destination? New York, LA, Boston, Toronto. I mean, what's the best situation?
LA.
All right. If they have a lineup that starts off Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Juan Soto. Is that the best first four lineup ever? It is, right? Because damn near is right now.
Having the rankings conversation on it.
Give me four better guys in a lineup.
I don't know. I have to go back and look at some of the big teams in history.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, with their top three, it's hard to get through it. Right? And then Teoscar Hernandez. Oh, yeah, what about that guy? And they just paid the shortstop that they got from the Cardinals.
Edmund.
Edmund. Yeah, they just paid him because he was nationally most valuable player. Yeah, it's silly. There's a lot of pressure off of them, don't you think? That they I mean, just winning that one. I think Dave Roberts earned himself a whole lot of street cred from Dodger fans who were beating the hell out of him for not winning more World Series. The way he managed through that World Series, don't you think? They just signed Blake Snell.
Yeah, what Roberts did in the postseason, managing the bullpen, getting the performance out of it, essentially having 2.5 starters, 3 starters at times.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
And one of them was just coming off of injured in Buehler, and you didn't know what you were going to get. And he's the guy who ends up closing the World Series out, coming out of the bullpen. Yeah, it was as masterful of a managerial job. Now, it's masterful because it works, right? It's masterful because guys perform, players make plays. But it did work. And he was pretty good. And I don't know how often you say the manager was a big part in winning the World Series, but the manager was a big part in winning that World Series. And I don't think we've ever seen anything like it. Now the Dodgers are out and spending a bunch more money. All right. Anything you expect from Fernando Lobo today? I mean, welcome to this job, huh? You got trying to retain your football.
Expect anything? No.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be asked about basketball and retaining coaches, and more along the lines of PC answers when it comes to that.
Yeah,
I'm interested in there's only so much you can say like when you just got here, but the strategy of the future when it comes to especially University Stadium improvements. What's his thoughts on that?
Yep, that's a real issue. All right, Jim Rome Show is next. Heard with Colin Cowherd after that. 2 Men On's in at 4 o'clock. Global basketball over on News Radio KKOB at 6:30. And we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. Adrian, looks great. Appreciate you. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind and loving and caring and sharing, and we'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation.